Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about how Margot's Robbie Pirates of the Caribbean movie is dead. And admittedly, I wasn't too excited about Margot's Robbie's Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Not anything towards Margot Robbie, because I think she's a phenomenal actress. But the fact that it wouldn't have Johnny Depp in it, that's the part where I wouldn't wasn't exactly too excited about. Cause sure, you can have like Jack Sparrow essentially passing the baton to Margot Robbie in the movie, being the next Captain of Black Pearl, but it's what do you think of Pirates of the Caribbean? You think of Jack Sparrow. So you can't have a movie as a Pirates of the Caribbean movie without Jack Sparrow. And that's why I wasn't too excited about Margot Robbie's Pirates of the Caribbean. Because I heard nothing about Jack Sparrow. And this was like around the time when Johnny Depp was getting screwed over by Amber Heard. And he got like screwed out of a lot of roles because of her. Which I'm happy that he won, by the way. That case was still. Anyways, let's read. Disney has finally realized that the Black Pearl doesn't sail without Captain Jack. In an extensive interview with Vanity Fair, Margot Robbie confirmed that the Pirates of the Caribbean spin-off in which she was to star in is no longer happening. We had an idea and we were developing it for a while, ages ago, to have more of a female-led, not totally female-led, but just a different kind of story, which we thought would have been really cool, but I guess they didn't want to do it. Robbie, Pirates of the Caribbean, was written by Christina Hodson, was also wrote Birds of Prey, which starred Robbie, as well as the upcoming DC film The Flash, and now the scrapped Batgirl. None of the characters would have holdovers from the Pirates of the Caribbean series. Although after Disney cut ties with Johnny Depp, this would have essentially been the flag bearer of the franchise. There was talks of a reboot to go along with this one, but there's no word on it since, and it seems to have dropped too. Would have been dropped too. Have been dropped too. By the way, I can't read. Robbie is also preparing to star in Ocean's 11 prequel for some reason. For Disney to have dropped a movie that would have replaced a beloved character with a woman that the outlook must have been especially grim, as that's their stock in trade at the moment. It's a safe bet, but it's a safe bet that this fell apart after Johnny Depp was vindicted of the allegations against him, and Disney's portrayal of him looked even worse than it initially did. Before that, they could have at least called everyone who wanted Depp back as a supporter of violence against women. Not that it would have worked, but they love playing that to him because they've got the words memorized. After this trial, they got no leg to stand on, however rickety it might have been, and with Depp refusing to work with them again, they got little choice but to let the franchise die quietly, and that's for the best. While I love to see more Pirates of the Caribbean movies with Captain Jack, I don't want to watch Disney pick at the bones of something they killed with their short-sighted decision to cast him aside in favor of his lunatic ex-wife. Maybe they can ask Warner Bros. For the rights to Mira. I think both studios might have amended on that. So I do think Warner Bros. And Disney did essentially screw Depp over, because one, because we kind of live in a world, and I'm not trying to sound sexist, I do apologize if I do, but we live in a world where, like, people tend to believe the females over the men because we have this bias or a false sense that females are weak and they can't defend themselves. And I say false because I've seen some pretty strong women who can take care of their own shit. They don't need anyone else to defend them. They can defend themselves. But I think that's like that whole mindset. Believe all women before men. That's a bad mindset because um there are a lot of innocent men that might go get in serious trouble because bad there are bad apples in the female gender that might want to screw us men over, and that same can be said with men with women. By no means am I siding with men on here because I know there are bad apples with men as well, which screws over females essentially. And clearly, the Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing was, in that scenario, the woman screwing over the man being the innocent party, which essentially the man won because he was innocent and the woman was bad. So I thought it was a bad move that Disney and Warner Bros. Fired Johnny Depp for allegations that didn't prove to be true at the time, which ended up not being true. It turns out the person was accusing said person was a guilty party. Going back to the actual article, that's my whole thoughts about the Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing. I know I hadn't really mentioned my thoughts of that situation on this channel yet, so that's probably the only time you guys will hear me give my 2 cents in that situation. But going back to the topic at hand, I agree with this person that they should let that the Pirates and Caribbean franchise die down quietly. Not because they're bad, because each movie is entertaining. I think, for me, there shouldn't have been any more Pirates and Caribbean movies after 3 in terms of storytelling, because that was a good place to stop. And in terms of story, 4 and 5 weren't as strong as the first 3. But in terms of comedy, each Pirates and Caribbean movie is hilarious. And I'm not saying that they couldn't pull it off with Margot Robbie's Pirates and Caribbean movie. Just, it would have felt awkward. It's like going to your ex house right after you, going to that family dinner with your ex, and you and your ex just broke up. It would feel, wouldn't that feel awkward? Watching a Margot Robbie-led Pirates and Caribbean movie without Johnny Depp would have felt weird. It would have felt weird. So, on one hand, there's that part of me that is sad that we aren't getting a Margot Robbie movie because I've been interested in seeing how that will play out. But there's the other side, which is way stronger. My stronger side, saying I'm happy with that we're not getting a Margot Robbie Pirates and Caribbean movie, I should say, because of the awkwardness of not having Johnny Depp in it. And do I think Johnny Depp will come back to Disney? There's that chance. I think time just needs to pass by some. Because maybe he's clearly he's still butthurt over Disney saying "screw you, Depp" to him. So maybe 10 years go by, and maybe Depp is over it and says, hey, you know what? You guys screwed me over, but I'll come back. But you guys gotta promise me, if I ever date any psycho females again, you guys don't like say fuck you to me like you do with the herd thing. But again, I'm more so happy than disappointed. What do you guys think? I'm torn, but I'm more happy than sad. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. And we'll talk to you fellow mooches later. Later, taters.